10:15 already.
Hello, Senator Underdog. Calli Shapiro with the Protection of Animals Society in conjunction with DART.
Protection of Animal Society. Okay, what's Protection of Animal Society?
The Protection of Animal Society is a completely 100% member-funded organization. We've been around since 1978 with great reputations at the state and federal level. We've worked very closely with the state on past bills, and we are so excited today to talk about the Disaster Preparedness Act.
Disaster Preparedness Act. Why are you talking to me about that one?
Well, it is in your committee right now, and we are.
Is this in my committee?
Yeah, I told you yesterday.
First time I'm sorry. This is the first time I'm hearing about this.
Well, great.
So you're gonna have to start from scratch.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry, I know nothing about this.
This is our fact sheet, and this disaster bill does three things primarily. We are so excited. We would love to get this out of your committee onto the House floor for a vote, third reading. It's so important because right now the municipalities are being asked to shoulder an unfunded mandate. They're they're providing services that they are ill-equipped to provide. What this bill does is three things to address that. First, it provides what is an unfunded mandate, an efficient funding mechanism for.
Where's the funding coming from, though?
The funding will be coming from the Animal Disaster Preparedness Fund, which is going to be funded by a user fee on pet food. Right now, taxpayers from all across the state are paying for these services. Okay. What this bill does is it takes those people who are going to directly benefit from the services to pay cat owners are going to pay $2 more for the entire year on their cat food. Dog owners are going to pay about $1 more a month.
I just got to tell you, I've got 66% of people in my district are pet owners. They're going to be hair on fire over this. Not only that, I'm going to have the Retailers Association griping about all the grocery store chains. They're still going to. So how are they going to administer that? How's the tax going to be take? So if they take it at the cash register, or how does it?
It's going to work when a pet owner goes into the store. They are going to pay that 1% more in the first year to pay for these services.
But mechanically, how does the money get to them, though? Does the grocery store then write a check, or because they're taking the money in, are they in charge?
It's going directly through the same state levels that the retail taxes would go through, but that money is going to go directly to the Animal Preparedness Fund, not to the general fund for the state. But what that means is that 25% of these services that the federal government is not reimbursing the state for, it's going to address that. Right now that's coming out.
I thought there already was a federal law on this,
yes.
Right?
The Federal Pets Act will reimburse up to 75% of a state's costs.
Gotcha.
But that means that the state is paying 25% of that. To shelter one animal for one day, for the state on average, costs $72 million.
So right now the state's paying for it, and you want to transfer that onto the pet owners, correct?
Yes.
Through the tax?
Yes.
It's a lot easier. There's more people living in the state than there are pet owners, so anything that's going to zero down on them, they're going to buck back. So, but you're an animal protection group. Are your own members are on board with being taxed more?
Yes, because 61% of animal owners say they wouldn't leave their pet in a time of disaster. These are people who are willing to lay down their lives to protect their pets. We believe that this small amount to pay for pet food is something that they will be willing to pay for the peace of mind of knowing their pets are going to be cared for.
All right, I'll trust you on that one. But what all animals does this cover, and what exactly does the act do?
This covers cats and dogs and any other domesticated animal that is normally housed in a house that you would consider a household pet.
Well, wait a minute, but what about, I'm from a rural district, as you well know. I've got a lot of livestock owners. What about when a disaster hits them? Aren't they going to be just as impacted as cat and dog owners?
The thing about this bill is that it saves money and it saves lives. The way that this bill is crafted is that we are looking to protect pets because that's what our members are concerned about. But we would be more than happy to work with a trailer bill, get some things together to address those concerns of your constituents in the rural areas that do have their commercial interests at stake during a disaster.
You probably, what's your constituency? Where are your members
Our
based?
constituency, we are based all across the state. In your district alone, we have 5,000 people who are willing to support you in passing this legislation.
I get that, but, I've been reelected 11 times. I'm a Democrat. Like, who else are the puppy huggers going to vote for? I really need to get something in this for my livestock guys, so.
And this bill has broad support from many agencies across the state. Under our agencies tab, and recently we have garnered support from the American Red Cross, but this is a list of agencies that have supported measures like this in the past. We have veterinarians, we have emergency disaster people that support this type of legislation. We have the Regional Municipalities Association on board.
Yeah, because they're presence in my district, and so that you said right now it's falling on their burden, it's unfunded mandate on municipalities, and they're trying to, but so RMA supports this then, right?
Yes, and they have statewide reach for every member. You may not be concerned with re-election because of your success, but across the state, every member of your party, these are people that send out mailers that say, these legislatures were there for you when those storm clouds were rolling in, protecting your pet in the time that you needed them.
So RMA, they've signed on as a sponsor then?
We're working with them to get some letters of support out, some specific.
So that means they haven't?
Not yet, but they are working with us to get some letters of support together to really back the people that are working on this bill. We've gotten through the Senate, we are now in the House, and we are primed to pass this bill. All we need is out of committee, on the floor for a House vote, and that is where we are. We've done the work. This is primed.
What was the vote in the Senate? What margin did it pass by?
We had 80 co-sponsors in the Senate. We had a voice vote, so there was
no record.
Right, but it was, disaster bills that prepare and protect pets, that save money for the state, are popular on both sides of the aisle. Whether you come down on the tax issue, this bill is something that everyone can support, as you can see with our list of.
I like the idea. I mean, why wouldn't someone want to have their pets protected during a disaster? I tell you, I'm really itchy on the whole taxation thing, especially when it's singling out as a group, because it just seems right now, if the state's paying for it, most people are probably unaware of it, whereas all of a sudden, if it's particularly pet owners being taxed more, they're going to be very aware of it.
Representative, just to let you know, you have another meeting in about 3 minutes.
3 minutes. Good Lord. Okay, I'm sorry.
That's quite all right, and we appreciate any time we can have with you. And to the point about pet owners being nervous about this paying a little bit more, pet owners feel that their pets are part of their family. And this is, for them, a small price to pay for that peace of mind. Because the second thing that this bill does is it provides for specific services in the time of a disaster. So it allows your constituents to learn about the services through community outreach. They can register, they can let everybody know that their pet's going to be picked up. So that way, when that first responder comes to get your constituent out of the house, they don't have to waste time arguing with someone because their cat or dog is going to be left. It allows that first responder.
So who's against this? Who could be against something like that?
You mentioned the Retailers Association. Additional taxes are never popular, but what this bill does is it takes a tax from the general population and puts it's narrowly tailored to the people who are going to benefit directly from the services in a small way, in a meaningful way, and allows these pet owners to have a peace of mind in a disaster. They know that their state is going to be there for them at any and all disasters.
And so our state, you said are there state agencies that are supporting? What's the state's take on this?
The state agencies, we've met with the Emergency Operations Center. Senator Jones, our sponsor in the Senate, they're in his district, and they are so excited to finally have the resources available to provide the services that they've already been asked to provide. Now, with the pre-planning, they can provide the services in a more cost-efficient way.
I got a question for you. Now, I've got this bill. What's the number on that one?
House Bill 200.
200. You're an animal group, right?
Yes.
It just popped into my head that. What can you do for me on that? I'm getting so much grief. The amount of emails I get from these just wacko. It's appalling, some of the things they say.
We have spoke privately to some of our board members, and we actually think that this could be a humane alternative to some of the slaughterhouses that are going on. You
as an animal group would support this?
Yes, we are reasonable, and
I like it.
We are willing to. We've great working relationship with other senators. We'd be more than happy to work with you on that bill going forward.
Because we had one burned down in my district, and these guys just they can't. They're having to truck it, and the amount of money they're spending,
Right.
and my wife's an environmentalist, and she's worried about the trucking and pollution, and we just need to have something deal with this. So
And we would
if
be-
you could help me out
yes.
on that, we should have started with that one right off the bat. This could have been a lot shorter conversation.
Well, we would be more than happy to work with you, and I know the great work that your wife has done. You know, this is something that speaks
She is
directly to clean
indeed
water.
the conscience of the underdog
Yeah.
family.
Yes. Well, we are so excited. We would love to get this bill out of committee. Thank you so much for taking the time to meet with us. We will follow up with you on
Okay,
Thursday.
You've got to head off to a
Really good to
meeting.
meet you, young
Thank
lady.
you
Take
so
care of
much.
yourself. And hug them puppies. This is great. Go back to you.
Don't need it anymore.
Okay, I'll hang on to it. No, that's great. It's cool. Put it in the file.